The first warning didn't come from a preacher, it came from the Pentagon. At 6:42 a.m. Eastern Time, every major news network in America cut to an emergency briefing. Military officials confirmed that unidentified atmospheric disturbances were being detected simultaneously over Washington, D.C., New York, Dallas, and Los Angeles. The sky wasn't just storming, it was pulsing. Cell phones across the country began glitching. Live streams froze mid-sentence. Satellite feeds flickered with blinding flashes of light breaking through dense cloud formations. In Arlington, Virginia, former Marine Daniel Brooks was driving to work when his radio suddenly went silent. Not static, not interference, silence. Then a sound vibrated through the air, deep, resonant, like metal meeting eternity. Cars began swerving. Drivers stepped out, staring upward. The clouds above the Capitol began swirling unnaturally, not like a tornado, like something opening. Daniel's heart pounded as the sky tore open with radiant light. People around him dropped to their knees instinctively. Others screamed. And then it happened. Not explosions, not missiles, people. They began rising. A woman across the street vanished from the sidewalk, ascending into the blazing light. A construction worker disappeared mid-step. A paramedic dropped his equipment and lifted off the ground as if gravity had reversed. Daniel stumbled backward. "This isn't possible," someone whispered. Within minutes, social media exploded. #Rapture, #Taken, #What is happening? Hospitals reported missing patients. Air traffic control lost pilots mid-flight. Schools reported children gone from classrooms. But not everyone disappeared. That was the part that chilled the nation. Church buildings weren't empty. Some pastors remained. Some worship leaders were gone. Others were still standing in confusion. The president addressed the country within the hour. "We are investigating this global phenomenon." But his voice trembled, because this wasn't localized, it was worldwide. In Texas, a megachurch security camera captured dozens vanishing during morning prayer. In Chicago, a self-proclaimed atheist live streamer disappeared mid-broadcast, but his Christian guest remained behind, shaking and weeping. In Los Angeles, a homeless man known for preaching about repentance was taken, while wealthy donors who funded church expansions were not. America watched in horror as one truth became undeniable. It wasn't random, it was selective. Daniel drove home through streets filled with abandoned vehicles and chaos. His wife's car was in the driveway. The front door was open. Inside, his daughter's backpack lay on the floor. His wife's Bible sat open on the kitchen counter, but the house was empty. They were gone. Daniel collapsed to his knees. He believed in God, but belief had been background noise. He respected faith, but he postponed commitment. He planned to get serious someday. Someday had arrived. By nightfall, global leaders called for unity. A charismatic diplomat stepped forward, offering stability, promising answers, calming fear. Markets temporarily stabilized. Digital ID systems were fast-tracked for global safety and coordination. Religious explanations were labeled emotional overreactions. But Daniel remembered something his wife once said: "Jesus won't interrupt your schedule with a warning. He'll interrupt it with a trumpet." The next week, enrollment began for a new global security identification system. Participation required allegiance to a unified world authority for peace and human survival. Refusal meant exclusion from commerce. Daniel stared at the registration tablet. The official smiled politely. "It's just procedure." But Daniel had seen the sky tear open. He had heard the trumpet. He had watched people rise. This wasn't procedure, this was prophecy. He slowly stepped back. I can't. His job was terminated within 48 hours. Bank accounts frozen. Neighbors avoided him. But something had shifted inside him. For the first time in his life, faith wasn't cultural, it was costly. Months later, detained for refusing compliance, Daniel stood in a holding facility as the world outside grew darker under tightening control. Then the sky trembled again. This time, not quietly, not selectively. The clouds split with overwhelming glory. Every eye saw him, not as an image, not as symbolism, but as king. The same light that had taken millions now returned in power. Governments collapsed instantly. The diplomat who promised peace fell silent. Daniel dropped to his knees in tears. He had not been ready the first time, but he was ready now. And as the heavens opened fully, one truth echoed across a broken America. The warning had never been about fear. It was about preparation. Because when the rapture occurs, there will be no countdown, only separation. And the only question that will matter is the one your thumbnail already asked. Are you ready?